What's up, man?
So where are you from?
From Cuba.
So you're from Cuba.
Yeah.
And when did you move to the United States?
2 years ago?
So moved here from 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And any real estate experience?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Okay. So he works for Dean Graziosi's team in their office in Scottsdale. But I happen to have the privilege of meeting Robert here in Dean's office. And he came up to me and he was going through the Down Market Profits course, right? We have a whole course that teaches from start to finish how to go out and do deals. So he was going through the Down Market Profits course, and he came up and asked me questions. What did you ask me that one day?
So I wanted to go to Cuba, like to see my family, because I hadn't seen it in a while. So I was like, if I can make one deal in 1 month, I will be like doing pretty good. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And now, like, how does the dollar equate from here to Cuba? Like, what's a lot of money in Cuba?
3K is a lot of money in Cuba.
How much?
3K?
So 3,000. Like, what's a lot of money? Like, what? I mean, like, what could that do for someone in Cuba?
Well, so I used that money, and like.
Well, wait, hold on. Just tell me, how much could that 3,000? What could that do for someone there?
I mean, food and like living for a while, like for a long time.
What's a long time?
6 months or more.
So someone on $3,000 in Cuba could
Or
live
more.
How much is like? Right. So what about like a dinner?
Yeah, dinner is like really cheap.
Like
so,
how much?
I don't know, $1.
So $1. So $3,000 goes a long way in Cuba. Bottom line, right? Okay. So what did you do? You went through Down Market Profits course and it talks
Yes.
about how to call basically on for sale by owners and stuff like that. So what did you do?
So I went through the course and I started like making letters myself, like making all the letters. And
Handwriting,
sending, yeah. So I printed them all and I got like the stamp and I made the letters and I sent them with the post office.
Uh-huh.
So I sent 200 letters. And then I decided to start cold calling because I didn't see like anybody calling me back or whatever.
Yep.
And so I went on Zillow and found this property, and I started calling, and they never replied. And then I sent a message, and they never replied. But then
How many people did you call on Zillow?
probably 10 people.
Okay, so you called 10 people on Zillow.
Nobody replied,
Uh-huh.
and I just left messages.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, I kept calling like, so I was using REI Automator.
Yep.
And so I was like getting like a list and start calling and calling. And I was doing that.
So what was the guy's name again? It was like Bobby or something.
Bob, yeah,
Yeah,
Bob.
Oh yeah, Bob. So he how did you find him?
So I went on Zillow, this property that I called like 4 times. And then I sent a message. And
A text?
A text, yeah. And nobody replied. And then a week later, they replied back that they had an open house.
Had an open house.
Yeah,
Okay. And well, I didn't show up to an open house, right?
that was the open house.
That was the open house? Okay. So you set an appointment and it was like, what time was it? It was like 5 o'clock on a...
On a Thursday.
So it was like 5 o'clock on a Thursday, and it was about an hour and 20 minutes on the way on the east side away from my house, right? So, and I don't know what I was doing. I was doing something, whatever.
You went to the hospital or something.
Yeah, I was like at a hospital, whatever. I had some like issues. I ripped a muscle on my back for working out too hard. Anyways, it's probably because of no milk and no sugar and no. Anyways, so so I went down there, and what happened?
So I asked you like to help.
So
me.
you were there probably about 10 minutes before I was, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you had a conversation with a guy.
Yeah. So before that, so I did the comms,
Uh-huh.
and then I called you to see if like some of your guys could like go with me.
Yeah.
And so nobody like could.
Could.
And then I went there, like I said, you know.
And he wanted what? 170?
He wanted so.
Yeah. He initially
And
wanted.
Zillow
Yeah.
was on for 170, And then when I talked to him, he said, if you give me 150, we're good, because that was the mortgage.
Right.
That he had.
Talk to him. Right. So, what was the condition of the house?
You had to do a full renovation.
Yeah, this place was sticks. It was sticks. So basically, we got down there. We talked to the guy, and basically wanted 170. We got him down to 150, and then, but there was a point to where he started basically wavering, right? Wavering on actually doing the deal. So what he talked about, and then what closed him? You remember?
Yeah, so you were talking to him.
It was
and
out right by the front door.
Yeah.
We signed it on the garbage can.
Yeah. Well, before you stood in front of him, and you told him, so let's do 150, and I will take care of everything else. And you look at him on the eyes, and you shake his hand.
Right.
And then we filled out the contract.
Billy pulled the contract
Yeah.
out and signed it. So that deal, that particular deal, he was wavering, didn't really know. What closed him is I looked him dead in the eye. I said, I can get this deal done for 150. We'll take care of everything. Do we got a deal? And I put out my hand,
Done.
and I shook his hand. I said, we got a deal. He looked at me, looked me in the eye, shook his hand, and said, we got a deal. All right, we got a deal? I said, good. Let's fill it out. And then we went right to contract. People want to know that you're confident that you can get the deal done. If you go, well, I think I can, I don't know. Maybe we can get it done. You can't do that. You got to be 100% confident you can get the deal done. We turned around and sold it for what? 160.
160.
Yeah, 160. And after closing costs, you got a check for what? Split it 50-50.
Yeah, for 200.
Yeah, 4,000.
4,200.
Okay. Was that a lot of money?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot of money. That make a difference in your life?
100%.
Really? Now, you were down in Cuba when you got the wire, right?
Yeah, so I took 1,200. I saved it for marketing, for future marketing.
Yeah.
And then I took 3K, and I went down to Cuba.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Congratulations. Good job, man. Rock the house.